Welcome to the Schluter-Systems installation studio. We're going to show you a tiled countertop and tiled under sink installation. We've used 2 layers of plywood, and on top of that we're going to use the Schluter-DITRA uncoupling membrane. We're also going to use profiles to finish the edge of the countertop and also a profile where the tile meets the backsplash, and we're going to use some profiles around the sink as well. As you can see, we have 2 layers of plywood. After the first one was installed, we came back and installed the second layer using fasteners every 6 inches in the field and along the edge with decking screws. Now the sink rail profile will cover about 1.5 inches. For our installation, we used a 3/4 inch plywood followed by 5/8 plywood and then the DITRA, which is 1/8 inch. So that gave us a total thickness of 1.5 inches. Using the template that comes with the sink, we place it on the plywood deck. We made sure our profiles would fit without them overlapping and that there was space for the faucet. Trace around the template and cut out the opening for the sink. Remove any debris and dry fit the sink into the opening, measuring again to make sure it is square and even. The next step is to mix modified thin-set mortar for the installation of the DITRA uncoupling membrane to the plywood substrate. Make sure the plywood substrate is clean and free of debris. The thin-set should be mixed to a fairly fluid consistency but still able to hold a notch. Using the Schluter-DITRA trowel, a 1/4 by 3/16 V-notch trowel, or a 5/16 by 5/16 V-notch trowel, spread thin-set mortar over the substrate using the flat side of the trowel. Comb additional thin-set mortar using the notch side of the trowel. After measuring and cutting the DITRA, apply it to the substrate fleece side down and align it with the plywood deck. DITRA protects the tile covering from damage due to expansion and contraction of the plywood substrate by allowing the 2 layers to move independently. It also protects the plywood from moisture penetration. Using a float or screed trowel, solidly embed the membrane into the thin-set. Lift up a corner of the membrane to make sure you're getting full contact between the fleece and the thin-set. Repeat the process for the front edge of the countertop, measuring and cutting the DITRA. Apply modified thin-set mortar and securely embed the DITRA into the thin-set. Using the utility knife, carefully cut away the DITRA where the sink will be installed. Dry fit the sink again and make sure it is placed evenly into its opening. The sink is sitting on top of the DITRA, so we need to mark along the edge of the sink and cut that part of the DITRA away. We took the sink, brought it back, and we cut the DITRA back away from the substrate a bit. And this is so we can use some thin-set mortar and pad the sink up so it'll be flush with the DITRA. Now the next step we're going to do is take the 5-inch KERDI-BAND and create a waterproof connection between the DITRA and the backsplash along the plumbing wall. To install the KERDI-BAND, use an unmodified thin-set mortar and a 1/4 by 3/16 V-notch trowel or the Schluter KERDI trowel. Apply the unmodified thin-set mortar with the flat side of the trowel. Comb additional thin-set using the notch side of the trowel. With the flat side of the trowel or a drywall taping knife, firmly press the KERDI-BAND into the mortar to ensure 100% coverage and to remove any excess mortar. Taking more unmodified thin-set mortar with a margin trowel, apply thin-set mortar to the substrate around the sink where the DITRA has been cut away. This will support the sink. Take the sink and set it into place, making sure it is flush with the DITRA. Remove any excess thin-set mortar from around the lip of the sink. Using a level or straight edge, press down, making sure the sink is flush with the DITRA.